know the numbers I should. I think he went to the playoffs 4 straight times after they don't go for like 7 years or 8 years.
That was PJ with our buddy Ryan Russillo on Russillo's podcast on The Ringer. So there he is basically saying the Knicks had a good thing going. They move away from Tibbs because you assume the grass is going to be greener somewhere else. And now I've got reporting that says they've been denied permission to talk to Udoka and denied permission to talk to Finch. And Shams reported last night that if they officially request permission to talk to Jason Kidd, which according to Shams they've not yet, that they will be denied that as well. So, Jay, what the actual heck is going on with the Knicks coaching situation?
So I'm going to tell everybody to calm down because I know what people are going to try to make it.
What?
But I've known Leon Rose for over 20 years.
Okay.
I would be shocked if you do not have a list of individuals. You do not let go of Tom Thibodeau if you don't know to give a definitive answer on one of the individuals on your list. There is a process and a sequencing that you go through. So I get that we catch wind of things, post things happening. But there is no doubt in my mind that Leon Rose and Worldwide West do not have an option out there that is a definitive yes for the answer of the New York Knicks moving forward. There has to be. You don't let go of Tibbs if you don't have a definitive yes. You hold on to him. You don't make the move without having a move, Greeny. It's not real. It's not logical.
And I'll jump in and say this, and I know what PJ was saying there about he's kind of given the suggestion that it's very on brand for the Knicks. It might be when you look at the body of the last 25 years of this franchise and how it's operated. But since Leon Rose has taken over, you have to admit the Knicks have functioned like a working franchise that knows what it's doing, that, as Jay's saying, has a plan. So you got to remove the past history and look at who's in charge right now and how he's run things. And all you've got to say is, okay, you're being denied access to coaches that you'd only ask for permission if you knew they had interest. So you know that those two guys, Finch and Udoka, probably in some way back channel have interest in the job. Now it's a leverage play. What's it going to cost to get them so we can talk to them? Because do you need to talk to them if you know that they want the job? No. What you need now to figure out is what's it going to cost.
Monica, the whole situation, Mike Tannenbaum, the first thing he said to me, having worked in the front offices and been the general manager in multiple spots in the NFL, was exactly what you said. You don't make this decision unless you have a list of 5 people that, and you know you can get at least one of them that you would rather have than what you have right now. So I agree with that part of it. The Knicks will get someone they believe gives them a better chance than Tom Thibodeau. The way the reaction to all of this comes out is separate from that and will be long forgotten by the time next year begins. So, okay, let's leave that part of it there. What? Who do they need? What's the right person to coach? It doesn't have to be a name. What is it they need from a coach to take this team from the man who led the horse to water but couldn't make it drink?
All right, so let's just look at the personality of this group. Let's assume it stays as is. Maybe they get some bench support, but if it stays as is, you've got an offensive juggernaut potentially. Like, we were all here when folks talked about this has the opportunity to be one of the best starting 5s in the league. And so to me, you now need someone that's going to optimize, innovate, be creative, and collaborate. Look at all those words. Wow. As far as the offense is concerned. So the offense, to me, is one of the primary things that this next head coach is going to have to lock into. Now, his staff, his other part is going to have to be how do you organize a defense with this group? But we saw this season, the offense hit historic numbers. It was clicking at a high level. Defense held its own, right? And so you're trying to unlock an offense that you felt, particularly in that Pacers series, was exposed for being too stagnant.
I'll just say this. There's always a lot of other things than just the value of picks for a coach that can happen between owners and owners of other teams. Okay? That's number one.
Now, explain what you mean by that.
Well, a lot of deals are done in a backdoor-like way with other assets that other owners have combined with assets that they have in their teams, respectively. I'll leave it at that, okay?
Gotcha. Okay.
We talk about Jason Kidd. If you spend any time with LeBron James raves about the innovation of Jason Kidd when he was on the bench with the Los Angeles Lakers. You look at the tie that LeBron, like Jason Kidd has to the likes of a Giannis when he coached him in Milwaukee. You think about how Jason Kidd, as a point guard position, hear a lot of people around New York saying, oh, he's a great player, but he can unlock a lot of the value in this new age offense with a Karl Anthony Towns and a Jalen Brunson and a Mikal Bridges and an OG Anunoby. Like, he's been able to fit pieces like that.
And he got Kyrie Irving to play at a high level.
I will also add to this, Coach, one of the buzzes in the conversations since the move from Tibbs is this word accountability, right? And so, like, a relationship, with a coach that demands a level of accountability through the locker room and commands a level of respect from this particular roster. Kidd certainly fits that mold. Udoka certainly fits that mold in terms of guys that are going to get after it with you.
You get no argument out of me. But Shams is the one who's saying last night, if they request permission to speak to Kidd, they're going to get turned down.
Okay.
I mean, so take that up with him.
And then you go to where Jay's talking
That's
about
what
it,
I'm saying.
talking business.
Okay.
To answer your question, what do the Knicks need? They need experience.
That's a big
First and foremost.
It can't be a first-time coach. This is a championship or bust season.
Yes,
right?
Especially
It's a
right
first-year
now.
job for you?
Jay,
Why you got my face?
you're making a face.
I mean, that's a great position to be in. I mean, you hope that the next 4 to 5 seasons are championship or bust. It's not one season. So I get how we're going to try to categorize it. Like, it's all or nothing, but it's really not all or nothing.
Is it a job for a first-year head coach?
I mean, I would throw out a name like Rajon Rondo.
I know, you mentioned him before.
I know, and it doesn't receive the same reaction from a lot of people, but I'm telling you, he is a savant in the game of basketball. I just watched J.J. Redick go to the Los Angeles Lakers, first-year head coach. It's about having the right staff in place as well.
Yeah.
Talk about accountability, somebody that knows, talk to anybody around the league about Rajon Rondo. Anybody around the league.
You're not wrong.
Savant, genius on the court, can unlock an offense. I've seen it before.
I'm not questioning him.
I know it just doesn't bring the same pop, but you're gonna bring in retreads. You're gonna bring in Mike Brown. You're gonna bring in all these other guys that have been coaches, have been fired before. All I'm saying, if you have a new age franchise thinking in new age ways, maybe you need a new age coach.
I'm not going to bring in anybody. I wouldn't have fired the other guy. So that's a whole other question. But let's go back to where we were at the very beginning. Whoever this coach is, are they better off coaching a team that has Kevin Durant on it than a team that has Karl Anthony Towns on it? To be clear, here's why I'm framing the question that way. When we were talking yesterday about the possibility of the Knicks getting Durant, Wendy sort of cut off the conversation and said, let's just make sure we know what we're talking about. The only way that happens is if Karl Towns is in the trade. I'm quoting Wendy because of the money.
$54 million.
Because of the money, and we won't bore people with the details. All you need to know is because of the money. That's it. Are you closer to a title next year if you're the Knicks, leaving all other things generally being equal, with Kevin Durant or with Karl Towns?
It's not even close, Kevin Durant. It's not even close.
If it's a 1-for-1, because
or whatever that would be.
You can't gut the roster. That's the biggest concern is that you're taking more away. You've already taken 2 pieces away to get Towns. If you now Towns,
how about this?
Another piece,
I'll give you one. If you're Matt Ashibia and you want Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns, do you do it? I would do it.
For Durant?
I would do it.
Yeah.
I would do it for Kevin Durant.
Well,
I would give up Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns to Phoenix for Kevin Durant.
You still got to have a team. Like, then what happened in Phoenix?
You're letting go of 2 players.
Please give me a headache.
That's 2 starters.
Give me a headache.
Jay, it's 2 starters for 1.
You would have been very proud of me, by the way, Monica. Yesterday, guy stops me in the street, and he says to me, so do you think the Knicks should get KD? And I said, well, you know, he's a bucket. I did.
Good answer,
a bucket.
I was so proud of myself
Good
because I stole that from you. So anyway, we'll see what winds up happening. There's so much off-season intrigue swirling around with the draft 2 weeks away. Oh, by the way, Game 3 of the NBA Finals is tonight in Indianapolis. Let's do more or less. Brought to you by ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Jay Will, the number on SGA is 34.5 points. More or less?
I'm going to go more here just because I think SGA is averaging 30. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I got messed up.
Come on, Jay, make up your mind.
I'm trying to. Get into my ear and tell me the answer. It's less. I'm going to go less. I think tonight's going to be that turnaround game for the Indiana Pacers defensively, and I think there's some schemes that Rick Carlisle has that is going to make SGA look at the game differently from bodies he's going to see on the court.
Let's talk about Halliburton, Monica. 25.5 combined points and assists for Hallie. More or less?
Shout out to our lovely production team. Apparently, I had more, but when I saw this morning,
Oh, now
I
you're making
thought
fun of
less.
me.
I know,
Now you're making fun of me,
Jay.
see?
It happened to me.
All right.
Okay, here's my logic on more. A bounce back game, I agree with Jay, and I actually think that both Siakam and Halliburton have a big game, and that is sort of the combination